Hi everyone, good afternoon. I'm so sorry I had committed to review, but I have some other commitments. But I'd say, yeah, hey, why not? Um, so I want to share the book review of this great book I've been enjoying over the past couple of weeks. It's called Ultralearning, and it's really about accelerating the speed at which you learn and master hard skills, outsmart the competition, and you're able to grow much faster than you're actually growing right now. And now the reason I picked up this book is because when I joined my global role, um, I realized that I need to learn much faster than I was learning, and I need to grow much faster than I was growing, or otherwise I would be out of my job. And so for me, this has been very helpful in helping me learn how to grow much faster. Really, that's how I would summarize that. So it's written by Scott Young, very interesting gentleman. He's a programmer, traveler, avid reader, but for the past 10 years, he has been experimenting on how to learn and think better. And so on his website, he says, I don't promise to have all the answers, but I have a place to start. So he's not speaking out of theory, but out of experience. So this is a guy who did an MIT 4-year computer science course in 1 year. So that's really accelerated. I've been a student of MIT over the past 1 year, and man, okay, he did an undergraduate program. I've done a graduate program, and things can be tight. So doing a 4-year program in 1 year is really impressive, I must say. Then two, he went a year without English. And in that year, he learned 4 languages. He learned Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, and Korean. So that's again impressive. So this is the guy you want to learn from. And then he did the 30-day portrait challenge where he learned how to draw. And you can see the sketches here of himself. And this is from someone who doesn't know how to draw to getting to this impressive level. So in the book, he shares 9 principles of ultra learning. He calls it ultra learning, but it's really speedy learning. And why is ultra learning important? He shares that we are getting into an age where self-education is very important, and you need to be in the driver's seat of your own learning. So ultra learning is going to help you learn a lot more. We are in an age where you need to catch up. You really need to catch up. You've already had the news of my promotion, and man, but I confirmed yesterday, and by yesterday, emails were already flying in, and so I realized that now I actually need to learn much more of the things than I actually knew the day before. Then two, deep focus. Again, a lot of the work tasks we have require deep focus and concentration. And ultra learners, when you go through ultra learning, I've been doing ultra learning for my Spanish. Yo hablo español. Um, it's still muy poco, but I'm improving continually. So again, you need deep focus and concentration. I've been doing it for the past 417 days, and which means each of those 417 days require me to focus and learn and work on retaining what I've learned. Then ultra learning is really scientifically informed. It's not a mystery. And there's a lot we can do to learn much faster in the information age that we are living in. So what are the principles of ultra learning? The first one is meta learning, where you draw a map of what you want to learn. So you're really researching into how do other people learn. So when you identify the skill, you need to think about how are other people learning this skill and how can I learn it? So you can do this by interviewing successful people who have learned it. Like for my Spanish, I've met with several people who now speak both languages, and they have shared advice and things like that. And then you start mapping out how you're going to actually learn the skill or the subject that you're learning about. So that's one. Then two is, again, now you start focusing and ensuring that you concentrate each time you're covering, you're learning. So focusing and concentrating, you do not skip sessions. There's no room for procrastination. These days for my Spanish, I meet every Friday night with a Spanish tutor from Ecuador. And man, after a full week of work, it feels like it's a burden, but I've learned that I need this. And so, again, I try to concentrate and focus and intensify such that, because I know those sessions are going to help me. And then directedness, you need to attack the skill directly, not beating around the bush. You know, sometimes when we want to learn something, you keep creating excuses, focusing on other things. Maybe this thing will help me learn it. No, 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 you need to go direct into the thing you want to learn. For example, in my Spanish, I'm learning Spanish. I listen to Spanish songs. I listen. So from all directions, you have to create an environment where you're either practicing or you're learning it. And that's very important, because this practice helps you transfer the knowledge from the books, from the videos, from the classes into real life. And again, for me, that's why every Friday I meet with my Spanish speaker, because those sessions we spend an hour where I'm speaking. I have no excuse. I'm supposed to speak Spanish only. And so I keep working on my grammar, he corrects me, and things like that. Again, one of the principles we're going to learn is feedback. And again, that's why for me, a tutor is very important. And then drill. So every week after the sessions, I get feedback on what are my weakest points. For example, right now I know that my weakest point is the grammar. I do not have a lot of words in my head. So I'm spending days, every day I'm trying to learn new words within Spanish, and how to punctuate them. And we call it conjugation, turning it into different tenses such that I get the meaning. So you need to attack. Drilling is all about attacking your weakest points such that you keep improving. And again, sometimes it looks very complex, and so you need to break it down into smaller parts such that you can learn better, smaller manageable parts. And then retrieval, you have to continuously be testing yourself. Again, you need to create an environment where you're testing yourself, you're testing your skills, you're testing your grammar. And this feeds into the next principle, which is feedback, and it shares different types of feedback, really. There's outcome feedback, where you're really just checking for what am I doing well. Then informational feedback, where you're checking what am I doing wrong. And finally, corrective feedback, how can I fix what I'm doing wrong. So you need, within your learning system, you need all these three types of feedback to be able to grow and learn the skill much better. And then retention, again, you don't want to be, the title there says, don't feel a leaky bucket. You don't be feeling a leaky bucket, that everything you feel in is dropping out. So again, there are a number of mechanisms you can use to learn, to keep what you're learning. So one, spacing to remember. Are you spacing yourself well as you're learning things? And then repetition is very important. Proceduralization, also, how do you make it automatic for you to remember? What cues are you giving yourselves? And again, mnemonics. And then overlearning, practicing continuously. You'll find me, for example, for my Spanish, speaking alone, practicing conversations and things like that. Because again, the most important thing is you need to be in an environment where you're growing and learning. And then intuition, again, for learning to be meaningful and to be long lasting, you need to learn it in ways that help you view things with intuition such that they become natural to you. So tips he shares here: don't give up on hard problems. So when something is hard, keep thinking about it up to when you figure it out. Prove things to understand them. So for me, in many of my Spanish sessions, I'll ask my tutor, why is it this way? Why, like, what is the logic behind it? And again, that helps you keep something, because you see in English, I can, the way the words are ordered is sort of direct, but in Spanish, sometimes the words are interchanged. So again, understanding that background information, proving those things helps you understand them better. And always start with a concrete example of the thing you want to learn, and that will help you start intuitively to learn the thing. And then finally, experimentation. Explore out of your comfort zone. And how do you promote this? You begin by copying, then you try to create your own version. You can compare methods side by side. If you've copied something, you look at it and what you've drawn and see what is happening. And then after that, when you get comfortable with that, you start introducing new constraints, new challenges. And then again, try to find a hybrid between things that may seem unrelated, and then push yourself to extremes. And that's the only way you'll grow. So I think in summary, that is the book, and that is what he shares. I hope this gives you a good introduction. I'll be very interested in hearing the thoughts around what did you learn from this? Are you interested in the book? I have a copy of the book. So think about reading this book. I think it's great. We live in an age where learning does not stop. So I wish you all the best. Thank you for listening, and have a fruitful discussion.